If you're looking to make $20,000+ wholesaling land, this video is for you because I'll be showing you how to build a land list and find land deals, and I'll be giving you my 2 ways that I make offers on lots. Let's get into it. Now, let's say we did a little bit of research and we decided that we wanted to go into the Miami, Florida market. The very first thing that we need to do is do a little bit more research on the market and figure out where cash buyers are buying at. And most of the time in the top zip codes, you'll see a lot of new construction in that particular area. So what we're gonna do now is just the buyers list hack, and I'm gonna hop into my computer and show you how it's done. All right, so now we are in my computer. The very first thing I'm gonna do is go into create your own, which we already in. And we already said that we're gonna go into the Miami market, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into county and we're gonna click Florida. And then since we're going in Miami, we're gonna click Dade County and we're gonna add Dade County. So now that we have that added, you see that we got 677,000 records. Of course, it's gonna slim down. And like I said, only thing we're doing at this point is trying to figure out the hot zip code so we'll know when we get a certain property in the zip code or a certain lot in the zip code that it's going to sell quickly. So next thing we do, we're going to go to property. We're going to click property type. And then we're going to click townhomes, duplexes, triplex, quad, and single family residential. So the reason why we want to do that is we want to be able to pull that list, and we don't want to be pulling commercial property. So with us coming in and adding these filters, it's going to clean the list up a lot. And as you can see, it dropped it down to 422,000 records. And now the next thing we're going to do is go to last market sale date. We want the last 12 months. We're going to click add. Then we're going to go up to equity percentage. We're going to have a custom range. So 99 to 100%, we're gonna click add. So as you can see, it brought it down to 2,363. Then we're gonna head over to options. When it comes down to owner occupied status, we're gonna click absentee owned only. For trustee owned properties, we're going to exclude. Corporate owned properties, no preference. And for address completeness requirements, both mailing and property address complete. So as you can see, we're down to 1,755 records. Only thing we're going to do now, we're going to go down to purchase lists. We're not going to purchase the list. This is completely free. We're going to go to purchase partial list, and then we're going to go to custom selection, and then we're going to group everything by zip code. And from there, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put in our email. I'm gonna block this out and I'm gonna send it to myself. So now you see this is the spreadsheet that we end up with, and you see all the zip codes that we have in Dade County. These are all the cash transactions that happen in that particular area. So whenever we did the 99 to 100%, that was pretty much cash transactions that were made. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come in and highlight this row. We're going to click sort from largest to smallest. I'm going to expand. Now guess what? You see the zip code, this zip code 33127, it has 81 cash transactions. So we know that any property or vacant lot that we may get in that zip code, we shouldn't have any issues with selling because these are the hot zip codes in that particular area. Now, if you're enjoying the content so far, please just hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell because that'll greatly help out the channel. And YouTube will push this channel out to more people that want to get started in wholesaling. And it'll also just show that you appreciate the content. Let's get back into it. So now we have a clear idea of what zip codes cash buyers are currently buying in. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into PropStream, which I mentioned a lot in my videos, and we're gonna build a vacant lot list for the whole entire county. And whether you want to filter it out based off of the zip codes and just market to those records is completely up to you. But let's jump back into my computer and I'll show you how you can pull a vacant land list. So now we're in my computer again and we're inside of PropStream. So what I'm going to do now is build a vacant lot list. So I already said we're going to be in Miami, Florida. So I'm going to click Miami, Florida as an option. And what I'm gonna do, you can go to the quick list choice and click vacant land. Now, you see it's 8,065 vacant land or lots, whatever you want to call it, in Miami, Florida. You don't want to do that because you may get a lot of commercial properties. You may just get a lot of land that you really can't do anything with. So what I would recommend you do is come up to property characteristics, click vacant land, then go to property types and click residential vacant land. And you see that brought it down to 3,629 because that's what your cash buyer is going to be looking for based off of what we select in list source. So then we're going to come down to MLS. I don't go after properties that are currently on the MLS, but you can if you want to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select no, it's not on market. Then I'm going to come down here. Then we're going to skip the pre-foreclosure tab. We're going to go to ownership info. And I like to give the lot owner some time when it comes to ownership. So I like to give a minimum of 5 years. So as you can see, there's 2,140 lot owners that have owned their lots for 5 years. And then we're going to go to owner type. And then we're going to click individual. So that brought it down to 754 lots. Now in different areas, of course, you're going to have more vacant lots. But in this particular area, as you can see, it is a small list. But guess what? All it takes is one lead from one seller that says, hey, I want to sell, and that can potentially be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I will skip over the lien section. And then for equity percentage, if you're just starting out and you may not be doing any seller financing or anything, you can come in and you can put as a minimum 100%. And of course, you see it knocked off a little bit of lots. But if you put 50%, you gain like 4 back. But if you want to go in and have a certain percentage, you can do that. It's completely up to you, but I'm just going to leave that blank. So this is the list that you built in PropStream that are vacant lots. And what you can do from here is export this list, get it skip trace, and start marketing to your data. Now, once you get your lot list skip trace, you have multiple different ways that you can market to your lot list. You can send text messages, you can make cold calls, you can send ringless voicemails. Now, I mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but guess what? The messages that you send to your single family properties or your duplexes, you're not going to send those same messages to vacant lots. You need to put time aside to make messages for your vacant lots, make voicemails for your ringless voicemails. And if you have a VA, you need to let them know that they're calling a vacant lot list so they won't get on the phone and say, hey, Miss Seller, I was wondering were you interested in selling your home on 123 Main Street? You don't want them saying that because the first thing the seller's gonna say is, I don't have a home on there, it's just a vacant lot. And they're gonna feel like you haven't done any research, you just calling the list. That's the last thing that you want them to do. Now, once you get a motivated seller on the phone, of course, the next thing you need to do is collect all the information you possibly can on that particular lot. The good thing about it is a lot is not going to have repairs. You may have to get a survey or a soil analysis test or whatever, but that's mainly the most you got to do. Of course, you may have to reach out to zoning to see exactly what the property is zoned because you'll need to know what you can build on the lot. But when it comes to repairs, that's something that you wouldn't have to worry about. So now after you collect all that information from the seller, of course, you have to make an offer. So what I'm going to do now, I'm about to hop into my computer and go back into PropStream and show you how I use 2 ways to come up with my offers on a vacant lot. So now we're back into my computer. And let's say that we market to sellers and we've run into a seller that wanted to sell this property. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on this particular property and we're going to go to comparables and nearby listings. And then first thing I always do is go in and change this to 0.25 just to see how many records are available in a 0.25 radius. Now, of course, with the shifting market that we in, I would adjust this and bring this a little bit closer, but I just want to use this as an example to give you an idea how I come up with my offers on lots. So with the property class, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and change this to vacant land, and then property types, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and I'm going to change this to residential vacant land. And you can see we only have 1 vacant lot that's sold in that particular area. So if we want more data, I'm going to change that to 0.5. And as you can see, it brought in more data. I'm going to rearrange this from least to most. And these are all vacant land. So I will go in and just click each individual one, just take a look at it. And as you can see, there's actually a home on this particular property. Maybe they tore it down and it's still just showing pictures of it. But what I normally do, I just go in and take a look at all of them until I find what I need. Okay, this is a vacant lot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grab that address and I'm gonna go type it in Google. Pull up the Google Street View and see what it looks like. And yes, it is a vacant lot and it's half a mile away from our particular property. And sometimes you just have to use what you have. So this particular lot sold for $304,000. And we also see we have another lot down here that sold for $848,000. But I'm pretty sure this one has a home on it, most likely. But it actually doesn't. Let's see, now it does. And it sold for $850,000. So that gives me an idea that I can potentially sell that particular lot for $304,000. So I know anything less than this price, I'll be able to sell a lot for. Now, another way that you can potentially do it if you didn't have vacant lots to prepare is use the 10 to 15% margin and sell at 20 to 25% of whatever the ARV is in that area. Now, most of the time, if you don't have vacant lots in that area, it may be an area that does not support new construction, but it's always worth a try putting the property under contract to see if you can actually get it sold. So I'm just going to use an example off of the head. Let's say that it's a property that's worth $100,000 in the Miami area. If you're using the rule that I just gave you and you put it under contract at 10%, then you have to get the lot under contract at $10,000. If you're going to sell it to your end buyer or your infield builder, you can sell it at 20 to 25%, and at 20%, you'll be selling it for $20,000. So then you will make $10,000 on that particular deal. But that's just another way that you can come up with an offer on a lot if you don't have vacant land in that area. But the best way to do it is seeing what vacant lots are selling for in the area in the current market that you're in. Now, if you're just getting started with vacant lots and you want to see how I automate my text messages and send text messages out to vacant lots, to single family homes, or whatever type of properties I'm going after, feel free to check out my video here, and I'll see you next time.